we want to see those economic ties grow even stronger. We understand quite well the importance of oil sands. It holds 170 billion barrels of oil, and it represents 60% of the world's accessible oil today. And what's interesting is that about a year and a half ago, I had the opportunity to visit the Canadian Embassy in Washington, D.C., and was introduced to the ambassador. And the first words out of his mouth were, "Tell me more about Marcellus Shale." So now, conversely, I say to you, tell me more about oil sands and what it is that we can do together. Because we believe that through the development of this important natural resource, that we can support as much as 93,000 American jobs per year and add billions to the United States economy, which is nice, but more importantly to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's economy, which is even better. Canada needs labor and technology and support, and my message today is we can provide all three. Pennsylvania is open for business in this administration, and we are ready to help. Pennsylvania has centuries, literally centuries, of experience in energy development. It was here in this Commonwealth that oil was first discovered when Colonel Drake drilled the first oil well in 1859. During its height, we were responsible for crowning King Coal. And certainly in the modern day, with nuclear and solar and wind technologies, we continue to be at the forefront. And of course, as I've already mentioned, the hydrofracking process for natural gas is thriving here in Pennsylvania. We have been and continue to be at the forefront and look forward to working with Canada in continuing to get the job done. Certainly Marcellus Shale is indeed an example of how committed Pennsylvania is to be a leader in energy development. As a result of the work that Tony and I and others did on the Marcellus Shale Advisory Commission, we traveled the state and visited dozens of manufacturers. They understood, as only the private sector could, they understood the importance of Marcellus Shale. They didn't wait for the opportunity to come to them. They went out to the well sites, talked with the companies that were exploring the opportunity of natural gas, observed the operations there, and then figured out what it was that the drillers need, invented it, and sold it, and created more jobs. They changed current products to make them more adaptive to the industry, or to develop new products when circumstances called for it. A perfect example of that is Cleveland Brothers, who I believe is here today. In 2011, I toured their plant in Wilkes-Barre. The Cleveland family started their company in 1937. It began as a landscaping business and has grown to be an international distributor of Caterpillar vehicles with more than 1,100 employees. The latest chapter in their successful history is evolving today by marketing vehicles specifically to natural gas drillers for their use. Cleveland Brothers has helped Pennsylvania to develop its energy potential, and they are just one of dozens of companies that are availing themselves of these opportunities. We want to do the same for Canada, as does Pennoni, as does a great many of the companies that are represented here today, from Allied Wire and Cable to Wire Rope Works, and the many more companies that are all assembled here to talk about the ways in which we can improve the economic vitality between Pennsylvania and Canada. And I want to be clear about this. If you remember nothing else about what it is that I've said here this morning, Governor Corbett and I believe that the potential for growth of economic opportunity between Pennsylvania and Canada has never been better. We are ready to take that relationship to the next level. We stand ready to work with everyone here to do what it takes to make it happen. I want to thank you all for being a part of this important forum, and a special word of thanks again to those at the World Trade Center and Duane Morris for the opportunity for all of us to be here. And again, General Counsel, you honor us with your presence. We look forward to continuing to grow our great relationship. Let's get to work. Thank you very much.
Honor to welcome Consul General John Prato to the podium today.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. I can assure you it's going to be an exceptional morning for the businesses that are here today. And I can't tell you how privileged we feel to be here today. First, I must offer some thanks because despite our best intentions, we could never at the Consulate put together an event of this quality. So I want to thank the World Trade Center of Greater Philadelphia, particularly Linda Conlin, Andrea Tanro, Graziella Dinuzzo, definitely to Mr. Bartolomeo, and also to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, particularly Pete O'Neill, Larry Nelson, Yananu at the Center for Trade Development, and for all the work that you do. Let me tell you, I'm exceptionally impressed with this state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You've got representation in Toronto, you've got representation abroad. You understand the link between trade and jobs very, very well. I also want to thank the Lieutenant Governor, Jim Cawley, for your exceptional words this morning. Lieutenant Governor, if you were living in Ontario and I could vote, you'd have my vote.
That's all I needed to hear.
And thank you for highlighting the exceptional relationship that is Canada and Pennsylvania, and I'm going to spend a few minutes on that. I also want to thank our hosts, Duane Morris, John Sorko, and Frank Luchak, who I met this morning, and Frank tells me that he was born in Canada. He has dual citizenship, and one thing over the last 2 days, I've met so many people that have either lived in Canada or were born in Canada and work here, and that's a testament to the incredible relationship between the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and Canada. My name is John Prato, and as was mentioned, I'm Canada's Consul General to 5 key states. 5 key states because they're very important to Canada. New York, Jersey, Connecticut, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. And I assumed responsibility for Delaware and Pennsylvania some 4 months ago, and I can't tell you how pleased I am. I feel privileged to have this position. I feel privileged because I'm representing my country, Canada, in a country that I not only respect, admire, but also adore. And for a moment in time this morning, I just want us to sit back for a second and not think about trade and commerce, but think if every country in the world had relationships like we do, Canada and the US, think of what type of world we would have. We are the role model for how sovereign nations can act cordially, peacefully, for the benefit of their people. No 2 countries provide security and prosperity to their people like Canada and the United States. We are each other's largest trading partners, not marginally, but significantly. The two-way trade between Canada and the United States is just under $700 billion. Every single day, 400,000 people, Americans, Canadians, cross that border for business, to be with friends, to be with families. 35 of the 50 states in this great country called Canada, their #1 market. Here in Pennsylvania, #1, bigger than the next 4 combined. Now those are all interesting statistics about trade between Canada and the US, but fundamentally the one that counts the most is that Canada is responsible for 8 million jobs here in the United States, trade. Lieutenant Governor already talked about the trade between Canada and the Commonwealth, Pennsylvania. It supports just over 300,000 jobs. Those are impressive statistics, but I think we could do a lot more, as the Lieutenant Governor mentioned. And that's why we're here. And an important part of that relationship between Canada and the United States is energy. It goes both ways. I should just mention a little bit of a side, Lieutenant Governor, that November 1st of last year, my home province of Ontario received its first shipment of Marcellus natural gas, 400 million cubic feet a day, representing roughly 16% of Ontario's usage. And that's coming through a pipeline that crosses over, a Trans-Canada pipeline that crosses through at Lewiston, New York. And that shows how tied we are, how highly integrated we are on the energy side. This morning we're going to hear from some of our leading energy companies. Canada has been blessed with the third largest oil reservoir in the world in the oil sands. Now it's third, but we believe with the right technology, the technology that will come from this state, it could potentially be the largest in the world. And that oil reservoir is not simply an oil reservoir, it's a technology incubator, and that's why we're here. We're here fundamentally because we need the products that can come from this state. And we're talking about products in the manufacturing, fabrication, we're talking about engineering services, and we're talking about environmental services and technology as well. The oil sands, sometimes are referred to as gift. I think it's more of a blessing because it's an incredible resource. We believe it will support up to 465,000 jobs in the United States by 2035, contributing to about $45 billion in economic output and supplies annually in this country. Right now in Canada's oil sands, there are approximately, that we know of, just over 1,000 companies in the United States creating jobs here and export opportunities. These are jobs that create wealth, build communities. They're great jobs, and we need your output. Now, I told you I respected, admired, and I adored your country. And we believe that the oil sands will be responsible for 465,000 jobs by 2035. But I don't represent the whole country. I represent the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I want to see those jobs and opportunities here. And that's why we have 5 of our most exceptional leading companies here today. And I encourage you to spend time with them because all of them have got large CapEx budgets ranging, collectively I believe this group here will easily be about $15 to $20 billion in CapEx. It's the largest private sector infrastructure project in the world. So it's an incredible opportunity for all of us to be here and engage. I thank you. I want you to enjoy the morning, and may it be a very productive morning for the Commonwealth, Pennsylvania, and for Canada. Thank you so much.